On a cool Monday morning in April, I sat in my cubicle staring at my computer screen. I was a senior financial analyst, so I had month-end work to do. I was just starting what would be hours of careful statistical analysis, looking at endless columns of figures as I prepared the financial statements and corresponding statistics for my company. 12 hours earlier, I had been flying home from Atlantic City, where I'd spent the weekend doing 4 sold-out comedy shows at the Borgata's 1,000-seat Music Box Theater, opening for Louis Anderson. I learned a lot from one of the best comedians of all time about the craft of stand-up comedy, connecting with each person in the audience, understanding that the nonverbal performance is just as much a part of the joke, working during the day to make tweaks to the material to try that night, and so much more. Now that I was back sitting in my cubicle, I realized I was the same person I had been before my Atlantic City trip, yet the difference in how I felt was palpable. Coming into the office that morning, no one announced, "He has a comedy album on satellite radio and you've heard him on the Bob and Tom Show. Please welcome to the stage, John Garrett." My coworkers weren't judging every single move and word I said, deciding whether or not to laugh. And thank goodness there weren't any hecklers. What I wished most, though, was that when I finished my work for the day, I'd say, "Have a good night," and the rest of the department would applaud as I walked out. I was still fairly new to comedy, having only been doing it for a few years, and Louis was very gracious to give me the opportunity. I'm sure if anyone in the audience knew I was a CPA, they would have viewed me in a different light. They'd probably even say things like, "You're pretty funny for an accountant." Yet no one would ever think to say, "You're really good at Excel for a comedian." Because the thing is, I was both an accountant and a comedian. It was impossible to separate one from the other. I had passed the CPA exam and had all the skills necessary to do that job really well. And I had also worked hard, getting on stage as often as I could to hone my craft as a comedian. The added bonus I found is that the skills from one discipline often enhanced the skills of the other. Who doesn't appreciate someone with a sense of humor, especially if they're your internal auditor? How was I supposed to leave a part of me behind when I went to work?
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.